Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. My fast cooking system has 4 components, that is flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. When you put all these 4 components together, you will make home cooking that is practical, efficient, creative, and fun. And now the creative and fun part of the cooking system comes from template-based cooking. The idea of template is that you use a single template. And once you master the template, it will allow you to create many different variations. Now, template comes in different levels. Some of the templates exist at a very basic level. And let me give you an example. When you boil pasta noodles or any type of noodles, now there is a basic template. A basic template includes fundamental cooking steps that are simple and critical. In order to be an effective use of template-based cooking, it is important to master these basic steps. Now, once you have the pasta noodles on hand, you can create many different kinds of dishes. In this case, you can cook the pasta noodles differently, you can season it differently, and you can combine it with different ingredients. So instead of just making spaghetti noodles with the pasta noodles, you can make many different types of noodle dishes. For example, in my previous video, I demonstrate how you use pasta noodles to make a lo mein, which is a representation of a variation of the basic template. This lo mein will give you an Asian flavor. In another example, I demonstrate how you use the pasta noodles. In this case, make a noodle stack with pesto, and then on top of it, you mix it with chicken and mushroom. This will give you an entirely different dining experience. And when I eat a noodle dish like this, I feel that I'm eating in an Italian restaurant. In many ways, template-based cooking is not a particular technique. Rather, it is a conceptual understanding. And it is ultimately what I would call a fusion approach. You take what is available to you and you try to create as many different variations as possible. The power of template-based cooking is best exemplified by my friend Jack. Jack told me that template-based cooking is the best thing ever happened to him in home cooking. He said by knowing only about 10 different templates, he's able to create almost infinite number of dishes. In fact, he told me that he hardly cooked the same dish twice. And so let me use this example to demonstrate what I mean by template. Many years ago, we moved into a house in an older neighborhood. We can tell it is an upscale neighborhood when it was first built. All the houses were beautiful and they are distinct from each other. It makes the neighborhood graceful and interesting. When our neighbor invited us to their house for tea, we were surprised how similar the layout of their house to ours. We then realized that the architect and the builder make minor modifications to the basic design to create houses that look different. And these differences make the street far more interesting and attractive. And this represents an example of template. Use basic designs to create variations. When my friend George first adopted my fast cooking system, he told me that he had 0 cooking experience. He said to me he doesn't even know how to boil water, and I thought he was just kidding. And my impression is that boiling water is so simple, everybody knows how. And I was wrong, because when I asked George to boil some spaghetti noodles, he has a lot of trouble. He created a chaotic situation in the kitchen and he was so disappointed he almost quit cooking. And now I realize that something might be very obvious to me, but might not be so to somebody who has no experience in it. And for people who knows how to cook, because they have a lot of basic skills in cooking. And my friend Jill told me that she learned how to cook from her grandmother. She said one important thing that she learned from her grandmother was how to boil spaghetti noodles. She said that they might seem simple on the surface, but there's a lot of little things that go into in boiling spaghetti noodles. And she called them fundamentals. These are the habits that she has cultivated over the years. These habits are critical because it makes her home cooking efficient and pleasurable. With these basic skills, she feels that when she cooks, she has things under control. If you already have an established method to boil your spaghetti noodles, then you can ignore this video. However, if you are not familiar with boiling spaghetti noodles, as well as you would like to find a different way to do it, then this video is for you. I call this a template because once you know how to boil spaghetti noodles, you can use the same method to boil any other kinds of noodles. This is a very important template. In fact, I have spent quite a bit of time to work out the specifics of how to boil spaghetti noodles as well as other noodles. So I'm going to share with you how this template works. After trying different methods to boil spaghetti noodles, I find this method to be the best. This is a 14-inch stainless steel wok, and it's better than any other spaghetti pot. You can use any 14-inch wok, but the stainless steel wok is the best. Because the stainless steel wok is easy to clean and it will not rust. A wok such as carbon steel wok, after you boil water in it, it will remove the seasoning and it will rust. To prevent it from rusting, you have to coat the surface with a thin layer of cooking oil before you store it away. A 14-inch wok is ideal for cooking spaghetti noodles. The standard length of spaghetti pasta noodles is 12 inches. Therefore, it will fit perfectly across the surface of a 14-inch wok without having to bend them. And this is not the case even with a pasta pot. Unless you have a very large pot, the noodle just won't fit properly. By using a pair of tongs to stir the noodles, you can prevent the noodles from stick and burn to the bottom of the wok. So my conclusion from all the different pots and pans that I try, the wok definitely is superior. One of the biggest problems in boiling pasta noodles is that having the water boil over. And this will not happen in a 14-inch wok because of the large opening. And cooking 2 pounds of spaghetti pasta noodles in a 14-inch wok takes about 8 minutes, which is about the same time as you would when you cook it in a pasta pot. Most people stop the pasta from cooking is by dumping out the hot water and then transfer the pasta into a bowl of cold water. This is not only awkward, but it could be dangerous from scalding yourself. And I discovered the best solution is to have a large bowl of cold water. I used a pair of tongs as well as a spider strainer to transfer the noodles to the cold water. This is not only safer, but it is also very efficient. Here is the basic template for cooking pasta noodles. This method is much simpler and safer. And then I rinse the noodles in cold water. And the great thing is that I make use of the wok, making it into a multifunctional cooking utensil. Using this method, I feel that I'm totally in control in boiling spaghetti noodles. I find it efficient, effective, and safe. The reason why this is a template because I can use the same method for cooking any other noodles. This includes angel hair noodles with equal efficiency and effectiveness. Here I use the same method to boil rice noodles. Using the same template, I boil some rice noodle that is broad in shape. Here is another example that I boiled some egg noodles. Here I use the same method to cook some potato starch noodles. So boiling spaghetti noodles might seem to be very simple, and it is basically a template that you can apply it to cook any type of noodles that you want. This is an example of how a very simple template can greatly expand your repertoire. This will allow you to make your home cooking fun, creative, and most importantly is that it is diverse. Now each time when you walk into the kitchen, you don't have to worry about not knowing what to cook. So with template-based cooking, you have infinite possibilities. So if you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post a video every day. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.